The Man from Taured, a true story of supernatural time travel. Imagine stepping into an airport, your passport in hand, ready to board a flight. The customs officer flips through your documents, then freezes. He looks at you, puzzled, and says your country, the one stamped in bold letters on your passport, doesn't exist. No record, no map, no trace. You insist it's real, but the authorities don't believe you, and soon you're gone, vanished as mysteriously as you appeared. This is the story of the Man from Taured, a chilling, unsolved mystery that's haunted conspiracy theorists, paranormal enthusiasts, and true crime fans since the 1950s. In a bustling Tokyo airport, a man claimed to hail from a nation called Taured, a place no one had ever heard of. Was he a time traveler, a visitor from a parallel universe, or something else entirely? Welcome to a tale that bends reality itself, a supernatural enigma that will leave you questioning the world we know. Settle in, because we're diving into The Man from Taured, where the line between fact and fiction blurs like a shadow in the fog. This isn't just a story of a lost traveler, it's a riddle that challenges our understanding of time, space, and existence. For every detail we uncover, the mystery deepens, pulling us into a web of possibilities that range from the scientific to the supernatural. Did this man slip through a crack in reality, or was his tale a clever deception? As we unravel this unsolved mystery, I'll take you through the eerie events of that day in Tokyo, the clues left behind, and the theories that keep this story alive. So, let's step into the twilight zone of 1954 and follow the trail of the Man from Taured, a true crime puzzle that feels like it's from another world. The story of the Man from Taured begins in the summer of 1954 at Haneda Airport in Tokyo, Japan, a hub buzzing with post-war travelers. On a hot July day, a man steps up to the customs desk, dressed in a sharp suit, carrying a briefcase and a passport. He's Caucasian, middle-aged, with a well-groomed beard, speaking fluent French and Japanese, with a smattering of other languages. His demeanor is calm, professional, like a seasoned businessman on a routine trip. The customs officer takes his passport, expecting a quick check, but something's off. The document looks authentic: stamps, visas, and official seals, but it's issued by a country called Taured. The officer checks his records, then a world map. No such place exists. Perplexed, he asks the man to clarify, and that's when things get strange. The man insists Taured is real, a European nation over 1,000 years old, located between France and Spain, roughly where Andorra sits. He's baffled by the confusion, claiming he's visited Japan multiple times, with stamps in his passport to prove it. He pulls out a driver's license, banknotes, and checks, all bearing Taured's name, along with business card for a company unknown to the officials. His story is consistent. He's here for a meeting with a Japanese firm, a trip he's made before. The customs team, now alarmed, escorts him to an interrogation room, suspecting fraud or espionage. They call the company he mentioned and it doesn't exist. The hotel he's booked has no record of him. The bank issuing his checks, non-existent. Yet his documents are pristine, with no signs of forgery. The man grows frustrated, pointing to a map, insisting Taured should be there. When shown Andorra, he denies it's his home, saying Taured is larger, with a distinct history. The officials are stumped, and the Man from Taured becomes an unsolved mystery in the making. Fearing a security risk, the authorities detain him, but they're unsure what to do. They place him in a guarded hotel room under 24-hour surveillance, with 2 officers outside his door, while they investigate further. His passport and belongings are locked in a secure airport vault. The man eats dinner, reportedly calm but confused, and retires for the night. The next morning, the guards check his room's gone. No broken windows, No picked locks, no trace of escape. The officers swear they never left their post. When officials check the vault, his documents have vanished too. The man from Taured, along with every shred of evidence, has disappeared, leaving only a story that defies explanation. No official report was ever released, and the Japanese government has never confirmed the incident, fueling speculation that it was hushed up or never happened at all. Where did this story come from? The man from Taured first surfaced in the 1980s, in books like The Directory of Possibilities, 1981, by Colin Wilson and John Grant, which cataloged paranormal phenomena. It spread through UFO and conspiracy circles, gaining traction in the 1990s with early internet forums. No primary sources, newspapers, police records, or airport logs exist, and the tale's details vary. Some versions say the man spoke Spanish. Others claim he vanished after 2 days, not one. The lack of hard evidence makes skeptics dismiss it as an urban legend, yet its enduring appeal lies in its eerie plausibility. For fans of unsolved mysteries and BuzzFeed Unsolved, The Man from Taured is catnip, a true crime-like puzzle with supernatural stakes, perfect for Reddit threads and late-night debates. What explains The Man from Taured? The most popular theory is a parallel universe, a concept rooted in quantum physics. In a multiverse, infinite realities coexist, each with slight differences. Taured could exist in a world where history diverged, creating a nation absent in ours. The man, perhaps through a dimensional rift, slipped into our reality, only to return to his own, explaining his vanishing. String theory and experiments like CERN's Large Hadron Collider lend credence to parallel worlds, though no proof supports interdimensional travel. The man's detailed documents and calm insistence fit a traveler unaware he's crossed realities, resonating with sci-fi fans who see Roswell or Bermuda Triangle parallels. This theory, blending science and the supernatural, hooks young listeners craving mind-bending mysteries. Another possibility is time travel. The man could be from our future, where Taured exists, or from a past where it once did. His modern suit and multilingual skills suggest a 1950s context, but his documents could be from a timeline altered by war or colonization. Time travel stories, like the Philadelphia experiment, share this Vibia glitch in reality, leaving strangers stranded. Quantum leaps, or wormholes, theorized by physicists like Stephen Hawking, could enable such slips, though no evidence confirms it. The man's disappearance, with no escape route, supports a temporal shift, but the lack of Taured in any historical record weakens this angle. Still, time travel captivates true crime fans, offering a supernatural twist on a missing persons case. A more grounded theory is espionage or fraud. In 1954, the Cold War was heating up, and spies often used fake identities. The man could be a Soviet or Western agent with forged documents, testing Japan's security or delivering coded intel. His Taured cover, perhaps a code name, might explain the non-existent country. When detained, his handlers could have extracted him, faking a disappearance to protect the mission. The pristine documents and language skills fit a trained operative, but why vanish so cleanly? No espionage case matches this profile, and the hotel guard's testimony swearing he didn't leave complicates a human exit. This true crime angle appeals to conspiracy buffs who see government fingerprints, but it lacks the paper trail of other Cold War intrigues. Skeptics argue the story is pure fiction, a hoax born of 1950s UFO mania. The post-war era saw flying saucer fever, with Roswell fresh in the public's mind. A tale of a mysterious traveler could have spread as a barroom yarn, growing with retellings. Similar stories exist like John Zegras, a 1960s con man who claimed to be from Negus Habesha, a fake African nation. Zegras forged a passport and was arrested in Tokyo, inspiring some to link him to Taured, though his case is unrelated. Urban legends, like the Philadelphia Experiment or Slender Man, show how fiction can masquerade as fact. The absence of 1954 news reports or Japanese record supports this, as does the story's late emergence. Yet the man from Taured feels too detailed for a random myth. Its specificity Haneda, towards location, the hotel ending, and eerie realism that hooks paranormal fans. A psychological angle suggests a real man with a mental delusion. He could have believed Taured existed, crafting documents to match his fantasy. Conditions like schizophrenia or dissociative fugue can create vivid false identities, and a skilled forger could produce convincing papers. His disappearance might be simpler: bribing a guard, slipping out a window, or even suicide, with officials covering it up to avoid embarrassment. This explains the lack of records. Japan in 1954 was rebuilding with lax bureaucracy. But the guard's insistence and the vanished documents defy a tidy human explanation, leaving room for supernatural speculation. This theory, blending true crime and psychology, appeals to listeners who love dissecting human behavior. Could Taured exist? No historical nation matches its description. Andorra, a tiny principality between France and Spain, is the closest geographically, but it's ancient, not fictional. Some speculate Taured is a misheard Tauride, a Crimean region, or Tuareg, a Saharan people, but neither fits a European context. Alternate history fans propose Taured as a nation that could have formed if medieval Europe diverged, say, a Basque state or a surviving Visigoth kingdom. The man's banknotes and stamps, described as unique, suggest a fully realized culture, hauntingly absent from our world. This detail, whether true or invented, fuels parallel universe theories, making Taured a ghost country that feels real. The man from Taured's legacy thrives online. Reddit's r/glitch and r/unsolved mysteries buzz with debates, while YouTube videos rack up millions of views. The story inspired sci-fi, like the 1989 novel The Man Who Fell to Earth and episodes of The Twilight Zone. Its appeal lies in its ambiguity: no bodies, no wreckage, just a man and a moment. Unlike Roswell or Amityville, there's no physical evidence to debunk, only a tale that lingers like a dream. For 18 to 35-year-olds, raised on Stranger Things and true crime podcasts, Taured is a perfect enigma, blending supernatural chills with existential questions. Was he a glitch in reality, a spy, or a myth? The answer, like the man himself, is gone. What do we know for sure? In 1954, a man reportedly appeared at Haneda Airport, claiming to be from Taured, a country no one recognized. His documents were flawless, his story unwavering, yet he vanished overnight, leaving no trace. No official record exists, and the story surfaced decades later, yet its details too vivid, too strange keep it alive. The man from Taured is an unsolved mystery, a true story in the sense that it shaped our fascination with the unknown. Whether he came from a parallel universe, a future time, or a storyteller's mind, his brief visit challenges our reality, daring us to wonder what lies beyond the map. Why does this story endure? It's more than a mystery, it's a mirror for our curiosity about existence itself. The idea of a man from nowhere slipping through our world resonates with young listeners scrolling X or binging unsolved mysteries. It's a supernatural tale with true crime vibes, a puzzle that asks, what if our world isn't the only one? The man from Taured, like a ghost, lingers in our collective imagination, a traveler whose journey never ends. So, what do you make of the man from Taured? Was he a visitor from a parallel universe, a time traveler lost in our world, or a clever myth born of 1950s intrigue? Did he slip through a crack in reality, or was his story a Cold War con? This unsolved mystery, a supernatural tale of a man from nowhere, remains one of the most haunting enigmas in paranormal lore. It's a reminder that some truths are too strange to fit our maps, vanishing like footprints in the sand. I want to hear your theories. Drop them in the comments. What do you believe happened to the man from Taured? Do you lean toward parallel universes, time travel, or a hoax? Have you heard a detail I missed? If you're hooked on supernatural mysteries, unsolved enigmas, and true crime like I am, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. We've got more chilling tales, coming stories of vanishings, glitches, and cosmopuzzles that will keep you up at night. If you enjoyed this dive into the man from Taured, give it a like and share it with a friend who loves a good paranormal mystery. Until next time, keep questioning reality, because somewhere out there, Taured might just be waiting. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown.